Hey, good evening. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside our managing editor, Santana Wood. We keep getting a little further and further away from each other every night. Once again, we're here each night to talk to y'all about what's been going on with the coronavirus updates. Throughout the day, we want to give you a good scope of some national news, local news, state news, a little bit of everything, because it's been another busy day.
It definitely has. The news is evolving every day. As we all know, this is a very fluid situation. Numbers continue to change, and the governor and the president as well continue to make announcements and changes. This morning, Governor Ivey announced that the runoff election would be postponed until July 14th, and absentee ballots are available beginning today.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart move, especially when it's such an important election with it being a presidential year. They want to make sure that they're doing everything possible to maintain the integrity of the election. So I think that's really important, and it's important to get that news out, because obviously we're big advocates of going out and voting.
Definitely. We are big advocates of getting out and voting. Also in the news today, ABC announced that it would be allowing curbside alcoholic sales.
Yes. And then in some national news, President Trump held a press conference this morning. Some big news there is that he has suspended all foreclosures and evictions until at least the end of April. That's something that had been cropping up in major cities, especially with lower income people. But I think it's good that he just went ahead and set across the board throughout the United States. That gives people sort of a sense of comfort that at the end of this, they'll be able to at least come out, with a roof over their heads.
Mm-hmm. President Trump has also closed all travel to the U.S.-Canada border at his press conference this morning, and is highly advising all non-essential general election surgeries be postponed, even dental surgeries, highly advising that as well.
Yeah, and I think that's, what we were talking about yesterday is just about flattening the curve. The health systems, the major hotspots are obviously hospitals, because that's where people are going when they are sick. And that's also where you go when, whether you're sick with a coronavirus or not, your immune system is down, things like that. So it's about kind of staying away as much as possible from people who could be infected, and if you don't need to be there, don't be there.
Yeah, and again, we are trying to practice this social distancing here ourselves, and we hope that everybody is taking that really seriously. Also, this afternoon around 4 o'clock, the state released the latest confirmed cases in the state, with 51 total in the state as of 4:10 p.m. and 0 confirmed cases still in Tallapoosa County. And in our surrounding counties, we've got up to 4 confirmed cases now in Elmore County, 8 confirmed cases in Lee County, and 4 confirmed cases in Shelby County.
Yeah, and when you look at those Elmore County, for our readers out there, I think it's important to realize that 4 doesn't seem like a lot right now, but it was 2 yesterday, 4 today, God forbid it's 8 tomorrow if those numbers keep growing. So again, just take your precautions as much as possible. And as for Tallapoosa County, obviously everybody's saying, well, it's here, it's got to be here, test results aren't back. And there may be some legitimacy to that. We can't say that for sure. But Russell Medical is waiting for test results to come back.
Correct. Russell Medical has gotten some testing back, and the ones that have come back, they're not confirmed positive cases, but there are still awaiting test results to come back for Russell Medical.
The good news is that Elmore County Hospital has set up a testing facility, a tent facility. They've performed almost 40 tests as of Tuesday, we believe, probably many, many more by then. They only opened it on Tuesday, correct? Tuesday?
Correct.
Yes. So, I think it's really important that, and they're open to all residents, it's not just an Elmore County thing. So, we're not that far from, it's in Wetumpka, so we're not that far. If you do feel like you're in need, give them a call and see if maybe that's the best place for you at this point.
Yes, it is a great place to go. Great that they are offering that here in our area for anyone who is showing symptoms at this time.
And it's, again, one of those things, to make sure that if you're going, whether you're going to Russell Medical, Elmore County Hospital, make sure you're calling ahead. Make sure they're prepared for you. Let people know what your symptoms are. A friend of mine is a emergency he's a EMT, and he's posted that he really is hoping that people, when they call 911 and for a different reason, for a fire at their home or whatever, that they'll say, hey, by the way, I've got a fever, because we want to make sure, our medical workers, our first responders, all those kind of people are as healthy as possible, and they can take the proper precautions when they're trying to help you stay safe as well.
Right, and I do just want to give a shout out to those people who are on the front lines right now, our nurses, our doctors, our first responders, who are working really hard to help everyone through this pandemic as it continues to spread in the state. And they're protecting themselves, I know, but we just really appreciate the hard work that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing that we're realizing is how much of a ripple down effect this is going to have, how much, businesses in our areas in Elmore County are going to be affected. And so we also are trying to work not quite round the clock, but pretty close to round the clock, bringing you all those stories of, how businesses are affected. And, interestingly, one business that might be going up is gun sales.
Yes, gun sales are going up in the area here in Tallapoosa County. We've talked with a local gun shop owner, and we all know that the shelves are bare with the toilet paper
Right.
and the hand sanitizer and some of the food items because everybody's stocking up on that. But maybe we didn't quite realize that people are stocking up on guns as well. Wholesalers are, running really low on stock with that, and you can pick up the paper tomorrow, the Outlook, to read a story about gun sales in the area going up.
It's interesting. I'm curious I haven't read the story myself either yet. I'm interested to see why. It's funny. My boyfriend got a call from one of his lifelong best friends the other day. And the first thing he said was, do you guys got a gun yet? And I'm thinking what are you going to do? Shoot the virus? I don't know, but always good to be, protecting yourself and safe and all those kinds of things. And also make sure that you're taking care of your mental health. People are being stuck at home, or like us, they're working, kind of in not great, not that we're not working in great conditions, but talking about not great things, and are sort of worried. And, those retail stock guys that are there 24/7, it feels like, just make sure that you're taking care of your mental health.
Definitely, it is really important through all this, of course, to keep your spirits up. All we can do at this point is be positive and follow the guidelines that the state has set for us, and do our best to follow those to the best of our ability. Get enough sleep, watch news that you can trust, and keep your spirits up.
Yeah, and Caleb and I, our sports writer up at the Wetumpka Herald and Tallahassee Tribune, we put out a podcast again, Inside the Lines podcast, and we talked a little bit about kind of what sports teams can do to support each other, because I know it's a pretty emotional time for them. So he put that out this evening, Wednesday evening. So give that a listen. We encourage seniors. It's your time to shine and be leaders. And if you can check on your younger teammates, and see how they're doing and see if you can do anything for them, we highly encourage everybody just kind of taking care of everybody else right now.
Certainly, that is what's the most important thing.
So we're going to take just a quick break, and we will be right back to give you guys some, once again, debunking some social media stuff, as well as some recent closures and changes. Hey, we're back once again. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, the sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside Santana Wood, our managing editor. We are talking all things coronavirus related this evening. And one of the big things that, we've made a promise to you here at Tallapoosa Publishers, that we can be reliable, trusted source of information for you guys during a time when there's a lot of stuff out there that's not so trustworthy. So let's talk about one of the big things that we've seen on social media today.
Yeah, something big that we've seen is ibuprofen will worsen the symptoms of the coronavirus, and this is not fact. The World Health Organization says that there has been no clinical population data to support that theory.
Yeah, one of the big things about this virus is that because there is no cure at this time, they're actually treating the symptoms. And obviously, one of the best way to treat a symptom or a fever, is ibuprofen and Advil. So don't go, thinking it can cure you, but it's certainly not going to worsen your symptoms. At least there's no reliable data up to this point that says that. Another big thing I saw when I was scrolling on Facebook last night is people were kind of in an outrage that a lot of their posts were being hidden or reported as spam. A lot of coronavirus stuff was that was true, was being reported as false information. Facebook did come out either last night or this morning and said that was a bug. They were clearing it up. They, like so many others, have cleared out so many of their employees. That machines are sort of reporting things or what's the word I'm looking for? Analyzing things and maybe aren't catching it as well as possible. So don't feel like people are reporting you on Facebook or anything like that. It's still a source of a place where you can communicate with others, which is really important right now.
Definitely a great place for community, and very important to continue to connect on that as well. Some other things we like to talk about are some recent closures that we've had here in the area. The Clean Community Partnership does meet for the third Saturday cleanup once a month, but they've decided to not meet this Saturday. But instead, they are encouraging people independently get out, clean up area roadsides while still practicing that social distancing.
Yeah, that's the important thing to remember too, is you still can go outside, and it's healthy to go outside.
Yes.
We went out for a drive today and saw some kids running the streets and stuff like that. Not running the streets, but literally running along the side of the street. And so you can do things like that. Also here in Alex City, Piggly Wiggly is changing its hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They've been really great about keeping things stocked and things like that. So I think that's probably, along with measures to keep things clean and sanitation and all that, I think that's a good thing for Piggly Wiggly to be cautious of. And as well, the La Posada, which is a very popular restaurant, limiting its seating to 25 people.
Yes, and over in Elmore County, we've got Tallahassee and Wetumpka's city halls are closed at this time. The Tallahassee City Council meeting that was scheduled for Tuesday has been canceled. Tallahassee Community Hospital is limiting its visitors as well. Over in Wetumpka, we've got Coosapalooza Brewfest, a really big event that happens every year that has been postponed at this time. There's also many restaurants in Wetumpka who are limiting their dining in services and pushing those to-go orders as well.
Yeah, and I think just, in general, with the commission also encouraging residents to use online services. The Alex City City Hall has been doing the same. Again, we just want to keep reiterating that whole idea that if you don't need to go out, out and about into a crowded space, certainly, don't, because it's not worth your health or the health of others.
Yeah, and I think that's still really important to consider whenever you are going out, if you have to consider that social distancing, and remember that just because you may not be as vulnerable to the virus doesn't mean that other people are not.
Yeah, absolutely. And just quickly want to review some of the stuff that we've got going on here at the Outlook. Obviously, we are coming to you nightly to try to give you as much of the trusted information that you guys are relying on so much right now. Also, check out our website. Our paywall has been taken down. We have a page dedicated to all of our coronavirus updates. We've got that business closure list that we're constantly updating. We've got a newsletter coming out every night. So we're trying to give you as much as we possibly can at this time.
Yep. Just continue to keep watching us every night and picking up the paper and checking on with us online, and we will continue to update you with everything that we have vetted and verified at this time. And again, I'd like to say that there are 0 confirmed cases in Tallapoosa County at this time. We've got 4 in Elmore County, and those numbers continue to change as this is a fluid, growing situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So stick with us. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, via email, on Twitter. We're everywhere. Definitely, we want to answer any questions that you guys have and continue to be that source that you can definitely rely on. So thank you guys again for watching. We are very appreciative of you guys. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Socially distance. So we appreciate appreciate you guys again.
And we'll see you again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I'm Santana Wood, Managing Editor, alongside Lizzie Arbogast, Sports Editor.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
night.